And we're back. Coming at you. Pre-recorded from Hollywood. Sunset Boulevard.
You forgot your shtick?
Which part?
Like, coming at you live from Hollywood.
Coming at you live from Hollywood. PhanSets, hi-fi, masterful thoughts and anecdotes.
Yeah.
Yep, it's us. We're back.
So what just happened?
Well, something that we anticipated now for
Since April.
couple of months, like 6.
Yeah.
The Sphere.
Announced.
It's real life. Not in our dreams anymore.
Yeah. Everyone seems excited.
Yeah.
And by everyone, I mean, like, the internet is a buzz.
The internet is a buzz. Facebook posts are just booming.
Yeah.
The Reddit Phish thread is just on fire.
Really?
Ooh.
You've been in there.
I looked at it for about 3 minutes the other day.
Okay.
You know, I was like, what are they saying on Reddit about the Sphere?
What's the fantasy tour saying? They're fucking pissed off.
I don't go on there.
They're angry about it.
Fantasy tour was a waste of time. Like, who goes into, like, who is comfortable going into the forum structure of a website and actually, like, ingesting any information? Like,
Cheeto fingers. It's all you have to have,
like,
Cheetos on your fingers.
Like, there's just so much drivel. Like, you go to a thread and there's like 72 pages, right? And it's just mostly people like responding to each other's comments.
Like the comic book guy in The Simpsons, like, worst movie ever.
Exactly. Like, Fantasy Tour just needs to really up their programming a little bit in terms of like actual back end, like how it works.
No, I think they're just sticking with the classic. They're just letting it ride, just like milking it.
But it's just so much easier on like Facebook or
well, I don't know about
Reddit
Facebook,
even.
but sure.
Well, yeah, because Facebook, like, it's all in the comments and you can just like drop all the comments down and like read them in chronological order if you so choose. Yes, Fantasy Tour's comments are in chronological order, but like you're on page 38 and there's some guy responding to a fucking comment from page 24 and you have no idea what the context is. It's just like a bunch of people yelling at the sky.
You know more about this than I expected.
Because like I try to get a gauge sometimes.
So what's the read? Because my gauge is Instagram. You know, that's where my gauge meter is.
Well, again, you're getting like the Phish Civil War type of shit. You know,
what's the controversy?
East Coast, West Coast, right?
What's the East Coast upset about? Do they don't have a sphere?
Dover versus the Sphere.
Dover versus the Sphere.
It's a big decision.
This is a thing.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of East Coasters are like, oh man, who needs to go to the Sphere and spend my entire fucking fortune and probably lose another half of the fortune.
Yeah.
Because
they're going to Dover.
Because Dover's happening. And
right.
We can just jump in the old RV.
Yeah.
And mosey on down and through to Chesapeake and, you know, find our way on the ferry to the mud pit of the Dover Raceway.
You know, there was a minute when I really wanted to go to Dover because I haven't been to a festival in what feels like since like 8 or feels like it's a long time.
Yeah. You know, festivals have their own allure.
But when I started looking into the logistics of like how you get to Dover, okay, like where is Dover? Where's Delaware? Okay, so let's start at the top.
Yeah.
Then there's no hotels. You know, you gotta like wook it out. Like the best you can do is like a Sprinter or an RV. But like that's complicated.
At the old Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, you're at Piggly Wiggly, getting ice, you know.
And
I can't.
A couple of Red Bulls.
It started to sound.
Monster.
I went from like full heat, like we're going to Dover. You know, we called people, we got everyone excited. We're all going to Dover.
Yeah.
That fell apart so quick already.
Yeah.
But when they announced the Sphere, it was the nail in the coffin of Dover. Like, let's be realistic. Are you going to Dover?
No.
Me neither. Not at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so the East Coast is doing Dover.
Like, I wonder what they're going to do to really try and, like, pull people to Dover other than the folks who are like, yeah, that's just in my backyard over there. You know, I'm just going to hit the I-95 and I'll be there in 48 minutes. I mean, maybe there are a lot of fish heads that are in that corridor, right?
I mean, the Northeast is a big corridor, dude.
New York.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I got all my fish. That's where you got.
So they barely have
early fish.
So they don't have to do anything. Hopefully that'll be advantageous for us.
Yeah.
Getting into the sphere easily. You know, I hope there's hype, right?
That's what I'm just. There was a lot of hype. The internet seemed electric.
For sure.
You know,
are fucking stoked. This is inspiring all kinds of creative thoughts.
There are some seriously dank memes out there.
Some great memes.
Some great T-shirts.
It's going to be hopefully a successful test run for them at this venue, and not too many people fucking take a flying leap from the 400 level.
Oh, good God. Let's not talk about that till later, but oh my God, it's some steep business. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen up there, but that's for another day.
I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see. This isn't going to be their last at the Sphere, obviously. And I'm not just saying that because, like, obviously they're going to come back. But, like, they're not doing any more this year, but they will be at the Sphere as a thing that they're going to do.
Well, there's already rumors floating around. Oh, they're going to announce a second weekend. But I don't believe any of that. I don't think that's happening.
No, I think what's announced is what's announced.
Yeah.
They've made it clear that they're not doing anything more in 24. They said it. This is the last time we're going to play at the Sphere in the 2024.
They did say that?
Yeah, they said that in the announcement.
Oh.
These will be the only Phish shows at the Sphere. They made it very clear.
I didn't read any details there.
It's just their announcement. It's just like the 4 words they wrote at the top of the picture.
Right. This is it.
Yeah.
Get your hot.
This is it.
Get right on the press.
Probably because all the room. Well, there were obviously everyone expected 2 weekends, right? I would say that was what a lot of the rumor was before. Well, what else do we know about the rumor mill about the Sphere? Is there anything else we know?
Well, I've heard that they have like pre-programmed 70 songs for 4 nights. So that's averaging 17 and a half songs a night.
That's under your 20 threshold for when you start getting grumpy.
It sure does. Sure does. That means that they're going to have to actually like jam a few songs out.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the first set.
Yeah. So the programming's
going to get like a 30-minute wave of hope for sure. Ruby Wayne. You heard it here first.
Did they program for Oblivion? That's what I want to know.
Most definitely.
So, yeah, programming for 70 songs.
Yeah.
That's, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess if in their older age, as we've discussed, this will hopefully help them really hone in on those 70 songs, right? There's going to be...
Well, they know what they're going to be playing over those 4 days.
Right. It may not be a particularly predetermined set list, but
think about Baker's Dozen.
By the 4th day, though, will be.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we can only play these songs.
Right. And they might have some pairs and some segs and some things matched up, and obviously things they want to put in the same show because they fit. Look, it's not their first rodeo. We know. We all live by the mantra that, like, Phish doesn't do set lists, which they don't, but then they obviously do. They do a bit.
For sure.
And so, like, just like Baker's Dozen or anything else, obviously this required individual programming of something that isn't the lighting rig, right? So, yeah, they're good. Here's what we're going to do. Let's, like, dial these in. Let's get them ready. We'll probably sketch out the contours of night 1, night 2, night 3, night 4. Those contours, the tent poles are up. Whether there's some just swaps going on, as we get towards April, sure.
Yeah, like Strawberry Letter 23.
I would love that.
They're just going to be like strawberries floating all over the place, and like the numbers, like number. They're just going to like
3.
They're just going to like plug and play U2s, like kind of thing. And be like, oh, let's just use that. We'll change the colors, and people will freak out. But one thing that I did read, and there was, I don't know if it was.
Oh, you read this?
Well, one thing I saw.
Okay.
In the rumor mill,
mm-hmm.
Like everybody has seen it, I'm sure, at this point, is that there is, in fact, and I don't know if it's true, but there was some screenshot documentation that behind the stage, there is the ability to remove
panels.
Yeah. And have a lighting rig put up. So I'm sure that's what's going to happen as well, right? Like, it makes it a little less pressure. Kuroda supposedly was involved actually in the design of this venue. So like Chris would never allow a venue to be put his stamp on a venue that doesn't allow him to have the fucking biggest lighting rig he could ever.
Right. So you think that they're going to throw a lighting rig in the back, run the stage off there, and have
for sure.
Different than U2.
For sure.
Yeah.
Different than U2. They won't just have the lights on the posts. I didn't know about this ability for the panels to be removed and the biggest lighting rig of ever or all time
installed.
Yeah. So that definitely changes the name of the game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
their math for sure.
Changes the math. There's a little bit of less pressure for them to
go full digital.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, I'm sure that they have contrived some sort of way to like obviously have the screen and the lights be.
Yeah, because a Phish show without the lights would be unprecedented in the sense that we've never, you know, unless you go all the way back to the early days, it was like 2 cans of Nectars. But like, to have a show with no lights, it would be fucking mind-blowingly weird. Like, you're like, what's up? You know?
And with like the things that are currently in the lighting rig with like all the squiggly lines and like, all that lines of LEDs that this can like make look crazy. It's not just like tractor beams, you know, firing at your head. It's like all kinds of digital mayhem. And imagine just like all of a sudden that's like surrounding you. Like it's just a continuation of the lights that are going up and around and they look identical. It's hard to even differentiate between the screens and the lights.
The other cool thing that when I was reading the announcement,
I haven't done that yet. Tell me.
Is that it called them 4 unique shows. And I don't know, that's just one word. But it is kind of like exciting. It is kind of exciting.
4 unique shows because they wanted to differentiate with the potential. They wanted to tell us, you and I.
Yeah, don't just come for one night.
Don't just come for one night.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same show every night. I guess that's for like the people who've never seen Phish before.
Let me ask you a real question. Did you have any expectation it would be the same show every night at the Sphere?
Of course.
Exactly. So I don't really know who that's for, but like maybe it's for like
maybe like
Relics magazine.
And insisted.
Like
we do different things every night.
Like maybe it's for the press or something. Like, who's that for? I don't think there's a single Phish head in the world that's like, U2 was cool. I bet you Phish does the exact same show every night. No.
It's funny when like Phish announces things like this, and I think it's happened in the past where people on social media are like, they get Phish. They get a notification because they're like on like the Sphere mailing list or whatever, and it's like, who is Phish, and how dare the Sphere ever book this unknown band before they booked Beyonce at the Sphere?
Yeah, those were the best comments. The best on social media. Like, I know you were deep on Fantasy Tour reading about the Rift, okay? But like the best, the gold medals go to like the Sphere page. Yeah, it was a collaborative post or whatever with Phish in the Sphere. So that like thing, and a few other places where people being like, U2 and now Phish, 2 worst bands ever. Like, when's Nickelback gonna play? It's like, what the fuck? It's hilarious.
Yeah, you know, America's a big country. You know, there's a couple 100 million people here.
Yeah, like, when's Nas playing the Sphere? You know, like, that will bring the house down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm surprised that Phish is second in line. Is there nothing in between?
I am not aware of anything in between. I know U2 extended like through February, kind of mid-Feb. They extended, and then I don't know what happens. But I'm not actually surprised. We have had it on eternally strong authority that this was coming.
Yeah,
in April, since last April. Check the podcast. You know, it was spring break.
Yeah,
when
this is true.
When we you know, with on good authority said that it was happening.
Yeah, so the only thing that is scheduled at the Sphere is Phish and Boom Baby.
Yeah.
Which is a great album, in my opinion.
So, I mean, the cool thing about Vegas is there's infinite places to stay. Choose your own adventure. You know, infinite places to stay, infinite things to eat. Yeah. Infinite things to do. I can see it actually. I mean, well, we already know it's fun from, you know, obviously Halloween's and whatever. But like,
there's way more comfort.
It's comfort, you know, right? Compared to Delaware.
Exactly.
where they have like a 200 room like random ass Caesars that's like probably already full and sketchy as fuck.
Yeah. And it's a schlep. Like, what airport in America, other than the regionals, don't fly to Las Vegas? Every single airport flies to Las Vegas.
Yes.
And, like, those flights are not normally expensive. And there's usually, like, 15 of them a day.
Well, that was the other thing with Dover. Is like you got to fly somewhere and then you got to get there. It was like a multi-step.
You got to really figure your shit out.
It's really no different than like limestone or anyway. I mean, everything was a schlep, but we were a lot younger.
And perhaps, like, this is going to create even more esteem for Dover Fest, because, like, fewer people are going to be like, or more people are going to be like, I'm not going, just like us. It's like harder to get to. So they're going to, like, really give us a 40-minute wave of hope.
At Dover. Dover gets a 40-minute wave of hope because now everyone wants to go to the Sphere.
Because, like, it's harder to get to. So
you heard it here first.
More reward for more,
a 40-minute more.
40-minute more. Exactly. 40-minute more.
Yeah.
Is coming.
At Dover. I am, man, like, let's say, here's the other problem with the Sphere for a second. I was thinking this through, like, trying to, like, triangulate my sitch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you don't want to go to all 4 nights. You can't miss the first night. You can't miss Thursday. It's the first night at the Sphere. Like, Trey's going to say, like, something, and we're all going to go, fucking, it's going to be the best.
We didn't even hear what he said.
No, we have no idea what he said until later when we listen to it back. But he's going to say something, and he's going to, like, laugh, and or he's going to be like, this is so cool, and we're all going to fucking lose our minds. And, like, I want to be there for that.
Yeah.
You can't miss Sunday because, like, obviously, just, the gold standard of never miss Sunday show.
What do you think they're going to open with?
And then there's Saturday and there's Friday. My point is you have to go to all 4. That's kind of my point.
It's true. It is true.
What do I think they're going to open with?
Fluffhead?
I was just about to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. Because that is the triumphant opener of all times, circa...
I know, they just want to reinvent those
3.0.
Those goosebumps from Hampton.
That's what I mean. Those Hampton goosebumps, they've all been, like, deeply ingrained into our brains, and, like, nothing would pop that.
I agree.
They did a fluff opener at Chula Vista. I'm trying to think a couple of years ago.
They do it.
They're into it.
It's a thing.
They don't mind a fluff opener.
Yeah.
It's plausible. I doubt it, but it's plausible.
Yeah. It's probably going to be Moma Dance. Big something.
Just to warm it up.
Warm up the Sphere.
Warm up the Sphere.
Make sure everybody gets their dance vicinity in place.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's up in the 400 sitting down.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's up. I can't figure. It's not going. It's going to be a mutiny.
Right.
Maybe it's only like a U2 thing because they want people to see.
Full revolt. There's going to be
I don't know if it's like an official rule of the Sphere.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's an official rule of the Sphere. It's probably like coming down from the higher ups at the fucking insurance company.
Like no standing,
or else Vertigo will fucking
Vertigo U2 song or
no standing. Or we're playing Vertigo all night.
So, like, okay, so maybe it's official. Like, I know because I know people who are up there who told me, but, like, they're great folks, but there may not be, like, reliable, like, sources, because, like, they might have, it's plausible just given the circumstances that they were confused, that they had to sit or stand. But everyone's sitting up there, which isn't going to happen official. No one's going to sit.
And imagine, like, the vertigo-inducing situations that people up there might be ingesting.
Yeah, like bring a poncho if you're sitting below them. I actually had a moment of vertigo at U2 a little bit. There was, again, we were at the floor, but there was, obviously movement on the screen, but then when the screen hits the floor, or like the heads of the people on the floor, right? So it's coming down. And it felt like if you didn't keep your wits about you, it did feel like we were actually rotating because whatever was on the screen was coming down into the floor, quote unquote, which gave you that like weird sensation that maybe we were tipping backwards. And I did have a moment of being like, what the like where the floor like felt uneasy underneath my feet. And it's possible that there could be a little bit of that going on. You know, definitely it's going to get weird. I think it's definitely going to get weird in there. It might be too much. I don't mean the sphere is too much. I just mean I could see people too muching it. Too much.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know, misread.
That happens in normal venues.
I know. I'm saying like this, the opportunity for misjudging your dive, you know, entry into the swimming pool, is like I think stronger here. Like because you could misjudge and find yourself like in an all-encompassing.
There's gonna be some
situation.
Nervous people for sure. Like I'm talking about like people who like work at the Sphere, who are like involved in the production of the show, I'm sure are going to be nervous about like
putting people, like tweaking people.
Tweaking people up in the really
tweaking them up
in the tweaking the stratosphere.
Yeah. No, the opportunity for tweaking is strong. Okay, I'm telling you, because even you too had a propensity to get a little tweaky.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and that was just you too, with like doves and like sunrises. Okay, not like legitimate fucking full tweak on purpose tweaking screens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on their website on the FAQ. I don't see anything specifically that says no standing in the 400s.
Good.
It might say that like on your ticket when you get it, or like when you purchase the ticket, it's like, sign this here waiver and you will.
But it's like you too. You know, at like normal concerts, people sit. They really do. Like, have you been to, you know, like, you know, at a regular concert that's not Phish or the Dead even, but sometimes people sit at the Dead because they're like got 20 more years on us, you know, and they need to sit. But like, I don't know.
Oh, it says here, during some concerts, the artist may request the guests be permitted to stand immediately in front of their seats during the entirety of the performance.
Perfect.
On those occasions, standing guests shall continue to be respectful of others around them and avoid blocking the view of other guests.
Okay, great. So moot point. People are standing, obviously, just like the water bottle caps at MSG. Like, our people need to stand.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know anything about fish heads. You too said, can you sit up there so that everyone can see the screen? And we'll look at Bono. Bono?
Right.
Bono or Bono?
Bono.
Bono. Yeah.
Bono.
Bono. Okay, good. I'm glad we avoided that, because I was concerned that there would be a full mutiny.
But they do allow empty water bottles. So bring your empty water bottles with the cap.
Fish on Phil. Shout out.
Yeah, there you go, bud. You've been gunning for that. No signs, banners, selfie sticks, laser pen.
What about hula hoops or like Christmas lights?
No hoverboard.
Like LED lights.
No cowbells.
You know that guy, the spinner guy?
With the LED
Yeah.
It's cape? I mean, who doesn't know that guy?
I know.
I mean, if you've been to a Phish show ever.
I wonder where he's going to be. He's got to be in a doorway. There's not that many doorways. Like he's a doorway guy.
He's a doorway guy because he is considerate. Right?
He's considerate, and I think that he understands like how the interplay between his spinning and the light, you know, like the shadows, and he, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's not his first rodeo.
He's not there to like interfere with other people's enjoyment of the show.
Absolutely not.
There are people out there who have like their flashing fucking ladybug headband.
I know.
You know, and it's like boinging back and forth in their head, and it's flat strobe flashing right in front of you, and it's like, you are not Canadian.
I have been seeing, again, shout out to Fish on Film. He's been pulling some really cool like cuts from people who have old YouTube videos and stuff, right? Like camcorder type stuff from the old days, like Amy's Farm, like 94, 95, like old school. And one of the most amazing things to me is to see the rail, just to see like what we looked like back then. Like, number one, it's funny because you're like, wow, that was like what we looked like, you know, and those were like our t-shirts and our hats, and like we were 16 or 14 or fucking, you know,
Oakleys.
Yeah, Oakleys. Like, you know, the whole situation, right? The rail, there's no rail, dude. I mean, there are people at the front of the stage, but they're not like, and they're grooving.
Yeah.
And we're smiling up at the band, but there's not, like how the rail is like a sport now? Like it's sport. Like if you're on the rail, you number one, you're putting sequins, glitter, light up LED stuff, like heart-shaped glasses, like it's important. It's a fucking sport up there. And it was just interesting to watch the olden days when people were up there because they loved it. Like you're close to the band. Like who doesn't like to be close to the band? But they're not like rocking out at like full fucking 12 out of 10. Like they're not in the high gear shift, like freak out.
We're talking pre-Greg doctrine.
Yeah, like the later 90s. It started to get, I don't know when Greg started anteloping around up there, but like
he set the bar for like maintaining.
Right, it started. I think like it started. I don't know if he started it, but like the insanity of the first few rows of the rail that we know and love today as being.
Was it very like crowded up there?
No, like, I don't know.
Because you hear in like every Grateful Dead recording, like, take a step back.
Take a step back.
Take a few steps back. It's like everybody was getting crushed, apparently.
Yeah. That is common to hear on the tape.
Right?
You're right. Yeah.
Everyone, take a step
Yeah, I think that, like, maybe people could push up. And look, Amy's Farm probably didn't have that many people at it. Like, 94 is still pretty light, Yeah. So these things are not that many people at the show, not the same volume of people. But I just mean like the intensity of like the rocking out, like the full, because I feel like sometimes it has to be true, but I'm open-minded to hearing otherwise. People on the rail today are performing as much for themselves as they are for the band and for the cameras.
Oh yeah.
It's performative art, okay, for some, if not at least half of the folks up there, right? There's like it's a bi-directional performance. Like when I'm at a Phish show, I don't feel like I'm performing for anything. No one's looking at me. Okay, the chances of me being the hood kid on the fucking zoom in on the thing is 0. Okay, like if I'm on the floor or wherever I am, it's me, and whatever I'm doing is between me and and the stage
guy's head behind you.
Right, but I'm just saying it's me. Like I'm locked in. And the music's flowing through my body, and whatever happens is happening because that's what happens.
No, for sure, but
it's not performance art.
There is like a culty, self-inflicted, indoctrinated like responsibility that is felt by the people up there.
I'm jamming hard
to be like,
I'm taking up all this space. This is how hard I rock.
Feel like they are worthy of that location.
And like I love dancing at a Phish show, but there's times when I might just even have my arms crossed and just like staring in like awe of what's happening. Like sometimes my body stops moving because I'm so like taken.
There's those people up there.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like, mouth kind of
like I've had my mouth agape before.
Mouth agape, like zoned in.
Yeah, I've been zoned in.
Same.
Anyway, I don't know. I derailed us, but no pun intended. Yeah.
If Dover's out,
Sphere's in. Sphere's in.
And hopefully these aren't the only shows that they play at the Sphere. Maybe they'll add like a little...
Well, they did say in 24.
In 24.
They did say that. I'm almost certain. Shout out. Email me if... email the show if I'm wrong. I swear it said on the bottom half of the post. But,
like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Is there anything else that needs to be aired? Any grievances?
I was thinking I was going for a walk, and I was thinking like, I really want to ask Jack questions. Like, I just like want to know the answers to these questions. Now we don't have to do them today, but we can do them another time. But I was thinking of like fun questions, not only to ask guests who we haven't had in a long time. So
we need a guest.
We need to dust off the guest dance card and next week bring someone in. But also just like I'm curious. But we can save them for another day. Should we save them?
Save them.